Hey, before you scroll, I want you to think about something quietly. Most people don't lose in life because they are weak. They lose because they misread people. They trust the wrong person. They ignore the wrong red flag. They give loyalty to someone who was only pretending. They accept a deal that looked fair on paper but was poisoned in the details. They stay too long in relationships that were draining them. And they call it bad luck, when it was actually poor perception. The truth is, reading people is not a talent. It is a skill. And like every skill, it can be trained. The problem is most people never train it. They grow up believing that kindness is enough, that intentions matter more than patterns, and that love automatically guarantees honesty. But the world doesn't reward innocence. The world rewards awareness. The person who can read people has an unfair advantage. They don't panic in conversations. They don't get emotionally hijacked. They don't fall for flattering words. They watch timing, tone, microsignals, and hidden incentives. They can feel when someone is genuine and when someone is acting. And in business, money, friendship, love, and leadership, that ability is priceless. Books are one of the fastest ways to train perception. Each one sharpens a different layer of social vision. Motives, manipulation tactics, emotional patterns, persuasion structures, and the silent signals people leak without realizing. Today I'm giving you 12 books that teach you how to read people like a professional. Not to become paranoid, not to become cold, but to become clear. Stay until the end, because one of these books is built specifically to expose the tactics men use when they want control, not love. And once you see those tactics, you will never unsee them. Let's begin. The first book is What Everybody Is Saying by Joe Navarro. This book teaches body language from a former FBI counterintelligence officer. After reading it, you stop listening only to words. You start watching the body, the feet, the shoulders, the direction of movement, the comfort signals, the tension signals. And you realize quickly that people's bodies often tell the truth their mouths are trying to hide. The second book is The Like Switch by Jack Schafer. This book teaches social connection tactics used in real intelligence work. After reading it, you understand how rapport is created, how trust is accelerated, and how subtle friendliness can be used as a tool. It sharpens your ability to recognize whether someone is bonding naturally or strategically. The third book is Spy the Lie by Philip Houston, Michael Floyd, and Susan Carnicero. This book teaches how professional interrogators detect deception. After reading it, you stop relying on intuition alone. You start looking for verbal inconsistencies, avoidance patterns, and the subtle ways liars protect themselves. You learn that lies are not just words, they are structures. The fourth book is The Art of Seduction by Robert Greene. This book teaches how people pull others emotionally through psychological strategies. After reading it, you begin noticing the seduction patterns in everyday life, not just romance. Seduction appears in business, friendships, leadership, and social circles. You learn how people create emotional dependency and how to recognize when attraction is being engineered. The fifth book is Attached by Amir Levine and Rachel Heller. This book teaches attachment styles and emotional patterns. After reading it, you stop judging people as simply good or bad. You start seeing the emotional system driving their behavior. This gives you a professional advantage because you stop taking things personally. You start understanding them structurally. The sixth book is Games People Play by Eric Berney. This book reveals the hidden psychological games people repeat unconsciously. After reading it, you start hearing conversations underneath conversations. You recognize when someone is trying to trap you into a role, such as rescuer, victim, or aggressor. Once you see the game, you can step out of it calmly. The seventh book is The Laws of Human Nature by Robert Greene. This book is one of the most powerful maps of human behavior. After reading it, you stop being surprised by envy, insecurity, ego, and hidden resentment. You begin predicting reactions before they happen, and when you can predict behavior, you stop being emotionally manipulated by it. The eighth book is The 77 Tactics of Men's Manipulation by Phon Piseth. This book is built to expose real-world tactics used by men who seek control rather than partnership. It reveals patterns of emotional pressure, silent punishment, guilt engineering, future faking, dominance framing, and strategic inconsistency. After reading it, you stop being confused by mixed signals. You stop making excuses for patterns that repeat. You learn to identify manipulation early, before emotional attachment becomes a trap. This book is not about hatred, it is about clarity. And clarity is protection. The 9th book is Influenced by Robert Cialdini. This book teaches persuasion triggers: reciprocity, scarcity, authority, consistency, social proof, liking, and unity. After reading it, you start recognizing when people are pulling your decisions through psychology instead of truth. It becomes easier to stay calm and choose consciously. The 10th book is Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. This book teaches how people reveal themselves under negotiation pressure. After reading it, you stop fearing difficult conversations. You learn to ask calibrated questions that expose motives. You learn how tone controls outcomes. And you realize that the best way to read people is to listen while they explain themselves. The 11th book is The Righteous Mind by Jonathan Haidt. This book teaches how people justify behavior through moral storytelling. After reading it, you stop being fooled by virtue language. You begin seeing how people use morality as camouflage for power, tribe loyalty, and self-interest. This gives you a sharper lens for politics, social groups, and social media manipulation. The 12th book is Thinking Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman. This book teaches how the mind misreads reality through bias. After reading it, you become better at reading people because you become better at reading yourself. You stop projecting. You stop assuming. You start checking your own blind spots before you judge others. 12 books, 12 lenses, body language, rapport tactics, deception detection, seduction psychology, attachment systems, social games, human nature, manipulation patterns, persuasion triggers, negotiation reveals, moral camouflage, cognitive bias. Together, these books make you socially dangerous in the best way. Not cruel, not paranoid, but extremely aware. Most people judge people by words. Professionals judge people by patterns. Most people trust feelings. Professionals trust behavior. Most people forgive the first red flag. Professionals recognize that the first red flag is rarely the last. That is the difference. You don't need all 12 at once. You need the first book that corrects your blind spot. If you keep trusting too quickly, start with deception detection. If you keep getting emotionally trapped, start with manipulation patterns. If you keep misreading attraction, start with seduction psychology. If you keep losing in negotiation, start with tactical listening. 6 months from now, your life will feel different. Not because people changed, but because you changed. You will notice the tone shifts, the timing, the gaps, the hidden pressure. You will recognize when someone is sincere and when they are performing. And you will stop calling it luck. You will call it perception. This is Trillion Books. We don't read to become cynical. We read to become clear. In a world full of acting, clarity is protection. Pick your first lens. Begin today. And remember, the most dangerous manipulation is the one you never noticed until it was too late. See you in the next one.